Good morning, everyone. Here's your weather hazard briefing for Friday, May 20th. It's going to remain on the cool side for the next few days and with some showers and storms around as well. Those cooler temperatures, and we're going to be running 10 to 15 degrees below average, it looks like at this point, give or take a degree or two on that range, throughout the weekend and likely into Monday at this point. We're going to have a daily chance of rain and snow showers and maybe a couple of thunderstorms. The best chances will be today as the storm drops south over us and another storm comes through on Sunday. Now, we skip to the middle of next week. It's looking dry and much warmer across central and eastern Idaho. And for those wanting to get a little bit of a sneak peek on Memorial Day weekend, it's not going to be the best weekend, it looks like, at this point, weather-wise. If you're wanting some nice weather, it does look like we're going to return to cooler and wet conditions. Now, this will probably change a few times over the next week, but certainly just kind of give you an idea if you're thinking about heading out or have folks coming this direction for the holiday weekend. You'll see on the satellite we do have that storm dropping south out of Montana into northern and central Idaho this morning. This will continue to drop to the south. This eventually turns our winds northerly across the board today and continues to push some rain and snow showers our direction. Looking at the weather risk outlook, we do have issues this morning with some folks already at or below freezing or near freezing across the Snake Plain and the Magic Valley. The mixture of that and the northerly winds across the Snake Plain for the American Falls Reservoir, we have highlighted some moderate impacts in these areas. It'll be breezy across the South Hills and the southern and eastern highlands as well, so there'll be a little bit of impact there. We might have to watch down at Bear Lake with these northerly winds if there's some impacts for anyone getting out on the reservoir, if that's even possible right now. Otherwise, showers and storms across the area today. Going into tomorrow, we continue with frost and freeze issues over the Magic Valley and the Snake Plain. We've highlighted these two zones because for our freeze warning and frost advisory program, these are the only areas that we do issue those headlines for. Other areas will definitely see cold temperatures. We don't want to deny you or not thinking we're thinking about you, just looking at the impacts in terms of our headlines. It will again be breezy out of the north, so we might have another northeast wind event for American Falls Reservoir tomorrow. We'll be keeping an eye on that. Otherwise, showers and storms do continue. There's that better chance area-wide on Sunday. Still issues with frost and freeze conditions over the Snake Plain and Magic Valley, mainly confined to Monday, especially once you get up towards Idaho Falls and the Snake Plain. We are in between systems. We have a little bit of an uptick on Tuesday before we get that brief period of dry and warm for the middle part of next week. Looking how things progress today, we already have a couple of areas of precipitation. We have a little bit of convergence band over the upper Snake Plain that's going to drop south this morning. We also another more broad area of precipitation that's associated with that storm dropping south. Going through the day, we kind of see these both dwindle a little bit. That convergence band event pushes towards Burley later this morning. Now you'll notice as we get into this afternoon, with temperatures warming up a bit, we have this system moving through. We've got some instability showers. There'll probably be a few lightning strikes across the region, and you'll notice that northerly flow, that northeast to southwest flow over the area today. And you'll notice, hey, look, right about 8 or 9 o'clock, we lose quite a bit of the shower activity, except underneath the center of this wave moving through over the central mountains, and we'll maintain some rain and snow showers. They won't be too heavy over the central mountains overnight tonight into too early tomorrow morning. Heading on back, let's look at those winds for today. And behind that convergence band, we already have some gusty northerly winds, and they'll be switching over the rest of the morning to the north. And some of these gusts 25 to 35 miles an hour, especially coming across the divide out of the central mountains into the Snake Plain. Once you get into the Magic Valley, they let up a little bit, and also gusty in some of the favored areas across the southeast highlands and down towards the South Hills and Albion Mountains for the day. And they'll start to weaken, especially as we get around sunset this evening. Temperature-wise, we're not too far off from where we were yesterday. I don't think we'll see anybody get above 60 or into the low 60s this afternoon. Otherwise, 30s and 40s if you're heading up into the mountains. Tomorrow morning, we talked about those colder temperatures. Now you get over towards the Treasure Valley, will be in the mid to upper 30s, but Twin Falls 33, Shoshone 35, right around or just above freezing for Pocatello, below freezing once you get into the Arco Desert, into the upper Snake Plain, and certainly once you get into the higher elevations, temperatures in the teens and 20s. Chalice, you'll be at 34 tomorrow morning. And tomorrow afternoon, we do push things up just a little bit. Not much of an uptick, but from Pocatello westward, also down towards the Utah border, some of the valley locations pushing into the low 60s. Otherwise, 40s and 50s for much of the area. Sunday morning, we continue to warm it up a little bit. We still have some areas of frost and freeze across the region. It'll be pushing the mid-30s, low to mid-30s from the Arco Desert and the upper Snake Plain. Montpelier still below freezing on Sunday morning, and Chalice about 35 degrees. Otherwise, some more teens and 20s if you're going to be out and about in the high country. And it still warms up, pushing another 2 or 3 degrees on Sunday. We're not warming up too much over the weekend because we have these couple of storms moving through, the moisture, the cloud cover, keeping us on the cool side, below average, going through that period. Now, adding all this moisture up, there's not a lot of moisture to be had out there. I mean, we're talking in some areas in the Central Mountains, we might push a little bit over a quarter of an inch, but again, this is a multiple day period. This is not in one day. Now we might have a couple of periods today, and on Sunday maybe a little more precipitation falls, but if you add it all up, there's not a lot over the Central Mountains. A few spots around a tenth to a quarter of an inch, and also up around Island Park and the Tetons as well. Otherwise, not a lot is falling out as rain or snow. And you'll look the eastern highlands, the southeast highlands, maybe a couple of inches, maybe 3 to 4 over on Teton Pass. Some of the Central Mountains, some of these higher elevations might push above 4 inches. I think once you get above 4 inches, those high-end amounts will be if we get some areas of showers that kind of fall over the same area, especially tonight with that wave moving through, and then again on Sunday. So there's moisture out there. We certainly need to be adding to it as we head towards the dry part of our year, but certainly nothing that's going to dump a lot of precipitation on us during this period. Monday morning, we continue to warm up. Going into Monday afternoon, some more places pushing into the mid to upper 60s in the afternoon. Going into Tuesday, there are some 70s once you get from Pocatello westward towards the Magic Valley and the Treasure Valley. 50s in the high country, it looks like, for the most part. Salmon and Chalice, you'll be pushing in the mid to upper 60s as well. Now, we talked about dry and warmer for the middle of next week as we're under high pressure, or high pressure just shifting to the east of us, pushing southwest flow in our area. So by Thursday, what's the potential of us hitting 80 degrees or warmer in the lower elevations? It's a pretty good shot across the Snake Plain, Magic Valley, especially over towards the Treasure Valley. The valleys, once you get down towards like Preston, Oakley, City of Rocks, Holbrook, also Chalice, Salmon, up along the Salmon River breaks. Those folks, there's a very good shot of seeing us getting above 80 degrees. Could it get above 90? It's not the best probability, but it's not zero either. Once you get over into the Magic Valley, we're talking a 20 to 30% chance of it getting above 90 degrees. You push over into the Treasure Valley, those percentages, those probabilities push 60 or 70%. So certainly if you're heading towards Boise the middle part of next week, some pretty warm weather is headed that direction. So like we said, but for now, it's going to be cooler through the weekend, below average temperatures with the daily chance of showers and even a few thunderstorms. The storm coming through today and on Sunday produces the best chance during this period. And as we just said, it's going to be dry and warmer for the middle of next week before we turn back to cooler and wet conditions. At least that's the early indications for the Memorial Day weekend. Have a great day. Have a safe day out there, everyone.